So in life, definitely, like we are all just moving. I mean, it's like kind of, why we get into silos is also because we are doing so much nowadays. We are consuming so much data.
Yes.
We are, I think it's more connected world now than ever. And you are never alone. Like even when we are right now doing this podcast, I think I've already got some 10, 12 missed calls and some 30 odd messages. And even while doing the podcast, I'm also trying to reply, do all that. And because that's part of my job, I have to do that also. I tried to divert my call to my colleague, but someone just it is not happening. So I'm not even able to do that. But so I'm not left with anything, but I have to reply to a few messages where, I mean, definitely.
So detached attachment is more important for
you. So they are expecting some reply, I mean, either from me or anybody from in my organization. So I think sometimes me myself, very recently, maybe for last, I would say 8-10 months, that pausing and reflecting back to my life, and also reflecting to the day gone by and the day to come, has become kind of a practice for me. Because when I feel like yesterday night, I was at 3 a.m. I was still working, and I had to be for this shoot in the morning itself. But I ensured that I sat with myself for 15 minutes before I went to sleep, because I needed that. I needed to have that time where I was not doing anything, not thinking about anything, not doing anything, just sitting by myself, just telling myself that this is what I am within this 2 by 2 feet area where I'm sitting. This is what I am. Nothing beyond this. Nothing above this. This is what I am eventually. Because whatever I do the whole day, I may run around, I may do 10 things at one time, but end of the day, this is what I am. And all that I'm doing is all material. I mean, this is the final me. So how do you see that pausing and reflecting back to people's lives? So, I mean, I think for me, it's come very late in my life, I would say. Nowadays, people are much more aware of these things and much more, I think, educated. But still, I don't see people actually practicing it to understand life and themselves and their progression. I think more people are doing it as a fashion statement that we are doing it. So how do you feel about this pausing and reflecting? And also, if you can touch upon a bit on meditation. I mean, do you meditate? I don't know. I don't know if I asked this question to you earlier or not. And how does this pausing, reflecting actually help us move forward and progress in our lives?
I think this is almost. First of all, I'm extremely happy to know that you do that self-introspection at the end of the day. I think if you look at our Indic wisdom, it is very well engraved in our culture that we must do the self-introspection.
Yeah.
And I think it is probably very clear, although we had forgotten about it. And as you wrote very rightly, that we are trying to get it back, but how much of it is a fad, part of a fad, or part of a showbaji, and how much is actually we are doing it, that's to be seen later on. But coming back to this, pause and then reflect is extremely important for anybody, for any time. Absolutely important. And why I am telling, first of all, yesterday only I was with a young startup, very, very successful startup person. So we were talking about, then somebody was talking about admissions into the universities in US. So there is somebody who is very special on that. He helps everybody to get into that. Then while talking to that startup founder. So he told, I told, you don't have to worry because your child is small now and you will have to wait for some time. Then he told me, but sir, we have to, she has to enter that rat race, no? That rat race, she has to enter. I told, then I asked him, what is the word you used? Rat race. So even if she wins, what does she become or what does she remain? She remains a rat only, no?
Yeah.
So then he realized, oh no, no, sir, I mean, not that way. I told, this is what? This is what is creating a problem for all of us. This is where we are having issues. This is where we are not pausing and reflecting that what are we trying to do? So again, coming to that, life is so, but I can say that, but I know everybody will definitely look for good for their children and all. They will get into this, they'll work on that. But at the same time, individually speaking, we must pause and reflect. In Sanskrit, it is told, Gatasya sochana nasti. I mean, you don't think about the past. You don't worry about the future, but you think about the present. But my present is also made up of the past, whatever I have done. So when you sit down and pause, when you reflect on your activities, the way you do it, you did it, you give 15 minutes every night, you are sitting, and that's your time, and that is where you belong to. That gives you a lot of thought process for futures. You asked me about meditation. I'm very bad at meditation. I don't do it. Let me admit that. Many people have advised me. In fact, my wife is, she does it, and she these days avoids कि आप भी मेरे साथ ना करो, because I get disturbed, because you are not very, but meditation does not mean only that I'm sitting in that position and doing a meditation. If you can concentrate, if you can divert all your attention into one activity, that is also a meditation. Probably I feel I have gained out of those things, because my mother used to always say that if I get into some work or something, if I'm studying or something, if there is fire around me also, I will never realize that it has happened. So that is the amount of concentration. So that is somewhat has been meditation for me. So that is how it is. Otherwise, the meditation in the meditation term, as they say these days, I have really not gone into that. But it is important. I know I am lacking in that. See, everybody I have my own problem. So this is one problem, I'll have to sort it out.
Absolutely.
I'll have to really get out of it, that mental setup, that I have to also go for meditation. I know it is required, and it is very much required. It completely, I mean, I have done once or twice with the help of guided meditation and all, whenever I interact with gurus or interact with people. So I have seen that it has given me results. But again, like all human beings, I am also a human. So this part I have not been able to really develop. But it's very, very